Who want to share first?
I'll share. During that meditation, I felt two different emotions. First was a sense of density. When I was focusing on drawing all of that energy from my mom into my heart, as I felt the egg, it grew. And as she was going through that process and I was doing what she was saying to do, I could sense the egg getting darker and darker and denser. And as it continued to get darker and denser, I kind of, I started to feel constricted maybe. And then from that, as I released it and let it go deeper into the heart, then I started feeling this energy, you know, kind of like a vibrations and light. And from there, I can feel a sense of peace of mind. And I knew at that point that we had made a connection.
Because see, thank you for that. No matter what, Mom did the best she could with what she had. So Mom cannot be ever on the hook, ever. This exercise is designed to use your whole brain to accept everything Mom presented, take it on because you're the conscious one now, transcend that energy, and then give it back to Mom in another form of that vibration that you had. Which, interestingly enough, that when you do that with Mom, you also are doing it with your offsprings too. Because that's the quantum reality in which we're in. It works both ways.
Wow.
As well as yourself. Which at that point, becoming one and resonating with the very source of divine feminine, which you come from, it's going to expand your creativity and all of the power that you have as a female co-creator. Lee?
You know, that was particularly poignant for me in that my mom recently died in December at 101 years old. And we, prior to, as a young child, I always knew, you know, there's something, you know, special in our relationship. And as I got older, you know, it became very clear, you know, in ways in which she was communicating with me telepathically, and I with her telepathically. And what she left me prior to her death with a message. And what came to me from that exercise was that the clarity for me to assume what she had left me, well, it was to continue, you know, doing what she had told me to do, you know. And it was what I think it did, and I'll experience that, is that even in her death, she's going to recommunicate with me. I feel as though that's...
Well, you definitely made a connection.
Part of that. You say, she's going to come back and she's going to let me know in some very specific terms, you know, what it was, you know, that she was telling me while she was alive. Yeah.
And how long ago was that?
December.
No, with the connection, what she told you, what she wanted you to do. Was that when you were a child or was it in December?
No, it was actually just prior to her passing.
Okay.
You know, just prior to her passing, you know, there was, she made it very explicit. You remember what I told you? You said the time. And, yeah, I remember. But then there's more to it than that. You say, and I'll get that, you know. Okay. At some point, you know, I know it's coming. You know.
Oh, yeah, well, you just opened the door now.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
Well, I felt as we were going into the exercise, I lost my mom in December. So
you lost her?
Well, my mom passed over in December. Okay. She's not lost because I still feel her and see her around anyway.
Now, don't that feel better than saying you lost her?
Yes, yes, because I do still see her and feel her around. But for me, it was like old stuff that was there that should have been resolved but wasn't while she was here. And so I felt things that she had gone through and realized it was some of the same things that I had gone through, and just putting that connection there, and then to release it, and to just not only releasing it from me, but releasing it from her, and then letting her, and then telling her it's okay.
Yeah, the judgment that we had attached on her.
Yeah, it's okay.
Clear all of that
It's
energy
over.
right up.
It's over.
Yeah.
So
Thank you. And for the record, Mom is interchangeable with Dad. I just did Mom. You want to just let it ride with Mom. Go ahead.
Well, it made the video, it made me think about my
The
relationship.
video? You saw a video?
That's great. Video, I mean,
No, that's great. Your imagination is working.
My mom passed away at the age of 54 in 1984. I had a twin brother with 2 of 5. There were 6 children. My father was overseas in the military. My mother had 6 children. But I found out that in 1959, my mother spent 3 months in a mental hospital in that third trimester you're talking about. And my father had a gambling conviction in 1959. And I guess he was blowing his money back then. He was very responsible after we were born. But I know the first couple of years I stayed with first year, I spent a lot of time with my aunt and uncle in D.C. I was still close to my mom and my sisters and brothers. But I remember growing up, I was in another neighborhood, Miss Nettie. And so what I'm getting at, I think in my past relationship, all my significant others said I'm emotionally detached. And I was wondering about that emotional detachment. My mother, even though we loved her, she took care of me, but
with the little boy, you still had that void. This exercise will help reconnect that and clear that out. It's just energy.
And so doing the thing out,
yeah,
was able to, reconnect.
So now you're gonna go home and be emotionally available in your relationship like never before.
Well, I know a man has to develop some feelings and emotions. Men is reason and logic, and we have to develop each other's some of the.
Where'd you get that from? Huh? Where'd you get that from? A book.
Well, feelings and emotions can be misread too. Feelings and emotions can.
They're real. That's just what you do with it.
Real.
Yeah, this is what you do.
Right. The feelings come. I understand feelings come from the subtle energies of the heart. Then the emotion. Feelings first, emotion second. The emotion is when the mental side is attached to the feeling, and sometimes you can have anger misdirected. You can have a feeling and be misdirected anger.
Yeah, you can do that.
Or you can you can misinterpret the feeling, what you feel.
Now you're never gonna misinterpret what you're feeling. You may put an emotion. I mean, you'll never misinterpret the emotion, but you may put a feeling to it that's not serving you at your highest good.
Okay.
And that's the key. Being able to attach the feeling that's going to be for your highest good, but still ask the question, what are you trying to teach me now?
Okay.
Instead of pointing a finger.
But sometimes that is difficult to actually attach an emotion to the feeling.
You do it anyway. You walk around and you get this feeling, right? Well, I'm saying it in reverse. But you walk into a room and you get a feeling. And then you're either gonna attach some joy to that feeling. Oh, it feels good in here. Or it's something to be fearful or something to be afraid of. You're gonna attach it to it. They go like.
Or I'm getting at, what about the time when I'm trying to make sure I say this right. You walk into the room, you have a feeling, but you don't attach an emotion to that feeling. You're like, okay, so this feels, don't know. You just know it's something there, but you can't, how do you process what that is? And so I guess that's when you would stop and be like,
check up from the neck up?
what's going on here, But that's, you have to observe, but most of the time, that is in the society and what we're living in, being
You know
able to do
why
that
it's
in
like
the
that,
moment.
Monkey? Because we're trained to be on automatic programming. We're just
Right.
automatic.
Yeah, the autopilot.
And what we're doing is detaching from the autopilot and becoming conscious of everything.
Right, okay.
The moment you become conscious of it, you can speak to it. Anybody else want to share? Before I show you this other powerful piece? There you go.
No, I don't think so.
You gave her that vibration in the room. Oh, Lord.
Let it out.
I had looked at the clock, and that's why I threw this out when I was talking to you guys about picking a person, because the person really didn't line up with this. Here's what we're going to do with the person. I'm come back around and spray you again, because I want you to really, this is how you're going to really understand this juice that you have. What we're going to do, you're going to see that person that you have, whoever, male, female, boy, little girl, doesn't matter. And I want you to envision that person sitting in a chair or standing right in front of you. Okay? As you inhale, you're going to inhale this beautiful pink light. Some people you want to use the jasmine, the jade green, that's fine too. But I like to use the pink. You're going to imagine pink light going into your nostrils, and as you exhale, you're going to exhale this pink light all over that individual. Okay? But this is why you have to stay this is why you have to stay very conscious of your breath, because it's the inhale and the exhale is where the power is. All the power is in the breath. So the conscious breath. So you're going to be consciously inhaling this pink light through your nostrils, exhaling it through your heart on this individual. Now, regardless to whatever the situation is, if it's a sick person or if it's somebody you have an issue with, I want you to continue to breathe on that individual until you see that individual's facial expression change. I want to see them go from a frown. If they're sick, I want them to go from being upset to happy.
What if this person is still?
It has nothing to do with this person. I'm glad you said that. I had a client, one of my clients up in El Dorado was like, Johnathan, they were like straight up, like Baptist, like Richard. Yeah, they're like, Johnathan, you're teaching us some voodoo here. Yeah. And I'm like, no, I'm teaching you to take authority over situations. And I'm glad you brought that up, because here's the deal. This particular woman, actually, is a good client of mine. She looks just like Anne Margaret. She's about 76, 75. And her son decided all of a sudden that he no longer wanted her to see her 3 grandbabies. So he wouldn't let her see them anymore. And so that was bothering her, especially when she found out she had cancer and she felt her days were numbered. So she wanted to connect with her grandbabies. So I said, no problem. So I shared with her this experience we're doing here, and I had her to imagine her son standing in front of her, and I had her to continue to breathe directly over him. As she breathed over him, she would see his serious frown began to turn into a smile. And then the smile, he started to have joy. And then I wanted her to embrace him, like I'm telling you guys. Embrace this individual. Once you see that, don't run up on them until they're happy. Don't run up on them until they're happy, or they will. Because at the end of this, you're going to embrace. And so she said, well, what is that going to do? I said, do it. She said, well, how often? I need you to do it as many times throughout the course of the day as you think about it. Well, it only took about 2 weeks, and she had talked to him in 3 years. She got a phone call. She called me right away. Johnathan, he called, but he was still rude to me. I said, great. He called. Right. Keep doing it. Anyway, about 45 days passed. He brought the kids over to see her, and now everything's good.
Wow.
Everything is good. Why? Because she exercised her ability as a co-creator to speak to his higher self and not his ego.
Yeah.
The ego is what creates the diseases. The ego is what causes separation. So you speak to the higher self. And with the power of the breath, you can make the connection and make it happen. And it's not voodoo.
That's heavy.
And it works.
Yeah.
So let us focus on that right now. Let's start breathing. Get a good picture of that individual. Breathe deep. The deeper you breathe, the pinker that light becomes. Okay, what we're doing now, we're looking at the pink. Exhale the pink right out of your heart on that individual. Feel that energy coming out of the heart. That same energy we tapped into, girl. Feel it. Because it's there, it's real. Breathe deep. You're tapping into your eternal power. It's the same power you can speak directly to a sickness and have it transform. The more pink you're expelling, the warmer that energy is. And once you see the person either well or happy, embrace the person, intensify the pink light, and then you can open your eyes. The principle my great-grandmother taught me was this. It don't take long to bake a cake when you know what you're doing. So, that song was about 7 minutes, and we started like a few minutes before, so it was about 10 minutes. It don't even take that long to do this exercise. It's a matter of just tapping into the breath and watching that pink light and feeling it flow. Who'd like to share?
Wow, I felt something like I haven't felt this in a long time towards like, wait, are we preparing towards a certain thing? But it felt amazing. I haven't felt like that, and I swear too. I was gonna say he gonna say something wrong with me. I felt this, but it's okay.
So you just tap into all of your benevolence. That's the power that we have. And they'll respond. As often as you do it, you watch. I can never tell a person how fast. I mean, I've seen some things happen in a couple of days. I've seen some things happen in a day. It took a little longer, but.
So,
I guess it's my niece. she's what, 18, she's UC Davis, and she had like stage 4 cancer. And about 2 months ago, I guess, my whole family, we were all, that whole spiritual thing. My mama had it, so I say, transfer it through your mama, my daddy. Everybody in my family got it. So anyway, all of us started praying for my niece, and they said they didn't know she's gonna make it. She had gotten an infection. She was a Shriner. So I came up, you know, she wasn't talking for a minute because she was unconscious and head on pain and come in and out. And so we see her, and about a month and a half ago, you know, we all praying, doing like we doing, meditate, thinking. And her mom might come over and say, you know, do you want to fight this? And she had a little daughter. She said, yeah, I'm going to stay. Then she went into that state because she was in so much pain because they were trying to pinpoint the cancer, right? So they did that testing. UC Davis got the pain. A month ago, chemo, they said it's that 3 days. Chemo or she going to be gone in 5 days. Chemo, took it, but we all did what you said. We'd say this energy. Fought it. Now she's up. Took second chemo, better, weight's coming back, taking over, but I was giving energy to her, but I saw her smile. I'm going to see her after I leave here, but you see that smile, it's the power of the mind. I mean, everybody we knew, we threw at her. That you can't, it ain't time to go yet, we want you here. You could, if it's your time to go, I said the power of me, you're going to go. But we love you so much that we need to.
Life and death is in the power of who?
Each individual.
Better believe it.
Yeah, and she didn't want to go. She told her mama before she went to come, I need to see my daughter. I need to watch her grow up. And then she started fighting. We took what she took. And I guess when you know you're in that vulnerable stage of energy, we just gave her what energy we had on top of hers. And then you saw this flower. And I don't know, I'm going to see a date, but her blossom. And you see now she's the internet. She tells people I'm doing better, hi family, but you saw her at the worst stage of the body being attacked and mutilated by cancer. And but so today I was sending energy to her because I saw her smile, you know, last week, and I saw her today looking at her come from that shell of a person that was being affected by disease and energy to now that vibrant, making that decision you're talking about to want to live, to want to be here, want to conscious awareness.
So you know you got a conversation waiting to have with her after she gets really on her feet, right?
Oh, for sure.
You know what the conversation is about, right?
Yeah, about living, about believing, and about
Come on, just stay strong, don't get weak.
No, I'm thinking of what I want to say to her when I see her.
What you gonna talk to her about cancer, though? What you gonna talk to her about cancer?
That she said, about the liver and about the stress, and she was in a whole bunch of stress with her mom and that whole battle. That's what I thought about the first day we had the first conversation. I was going home, calling my wife, telling her, you know what, my niece was affected. Just what I'm saying, it went in her liver, it attacked her, and then I sat with her mom for about an hour after her first chemo and days had gone by, and she said her daughter was out, awake, and talking. And she had talked with her daughter for 2 hours about, we letting this all go. The strife, the pain, because I could have lost you and just, it isn't worth all that. She was, you know, it just wasn't worth the strife they had as a little girl and all this. And she had the conversation we talked about. And then as she went back for the second level chemo, that conversation had already been shifted and planted, and they had made that connection of peace with each other, that this life is not about anger, it's not about fighting each other, it's not about stress. It's about loving each other for the time you have and for the precious moments that you're blessed to be on this earth and how close you could have been, the choice that she fought to live.
Yeah, and she chose to go to death doorstep to take a good look at it and then realize, okay, let me do a checkup from the neck up and clean this up.
And she did. She came back and
this is why we're never ever to judge a person's journey.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You know, whether they had the journey of being strung out on meth, crack, alcohol, or whatever. Because that journey, in that thing that looks to be bad, is actually the gift for them.
Yeah. But have you noticed, Johnathan, you know, because you do this all the time, have you noticed one thing, and I did law enforcement, and I saw inmates, that's what I dealt with 25 years, from the worst, from the drug addiction, alcohol, because that's the world they chose, but that's the world they were in a lot. All of their crime was based on drug and alcohol. They action is still.
Well, for the record, they signed up before they got here.
Yeah, they signed before they got there. But do you notice junkies, or we say junkies, man, they have tenacity to live. You know, the things they survive, that you get sick, you would die. You get a cold flu and man, he got pneumonia, he dead. They fight back from great inner strength, and they don't even know they have the strength, but you look at them from a weak person because they took drug and alcohol, but then you see the ability they have on the other side of the coin.
And the drug and alcohol could just be a detachment from a certain emotion they just weren't able to process.
Right, which I found out with them. Well, that is the truth, because, you know, I talked to
But they're strong in every other area.
They are.
Yes.
That's the weakest area, but they are the strongest person you ever know on the other hand. But that one little 1%, it's their Achilles heel, and it's reason. But the other 99%, you want them on your side because they got great strength and power and ability to survive.
Creativity.
They do. It's weird. I had to spend a quarter of a century to hang out with them because I did life with them for 25 years. You doing life. True?
Yeah.
We got to know each other, grow up together.
Yes, Bill.
I wanted to share mine, which is I started having chest pains. So yeah, as I was doing it both times, like my chest, like right, it was like this is tight, this is hurting. Like what is this this going on? And I was like, I have not used this. It felt like it was like a stressed muscle, like something you're not used to exercising or whatnot. So it was. That's what it felt. I mean, like literally a chest pain.
Okay, so let me ask you this: What do you do?
What do I do? What don't I do?
Okay.
Listen, I interact with people on a daily basis.
You're trying to help people every day.
Every day. That's what I do.
So why do you think her heart started hurting? Because all she's doing is helping
Their energy.
She got a problem with helping herself.
Ooh, there it was.
That's my favorite.
Give it to everybody else. Some people back into herself.
What does nature teach us? What's the first law of nature? Self-preservation.
Yeah.
All the love she's doing for everybody else, it's okay, but it's not.
Yeah.
At its best, because she didn't give it to herself first.
Right.
And you have youth and vitality on your side, yet you're going strong. But now...
Okay.
But now...
She hear all the time.
Now, your time has come for you to bring it home.
Yeah, to you, huh?
Okay.
Anybody else? Oh.
It's a little difficult for me though because I've kind of already been on this path a little bit. So it wasn't as difficult for me to meditate and to visualize.
And for me, the audio was a big distraction. So
The first exercise?
the first one was distracting for me, so I had to drown the noise out to be able to. And that's kind of like why I didn't want to say nothing at first, because I didn't want you to take it like I was But for me, it was drowning, distracting.
Your concentration.
Yeah, it was distracting my concentration from what?
From what?
From what I was focusing on.
And what were you focusing on?
I was
Should we feel his onion back? It's a layer
I
right
was
here.
focusing on the person. And actually that was kind of difficult too because it's so many people for me to choose from. So I was trying to then focus on which person did I want to focus on.
The second time.
The first time.
The first time was just about you receiving from mom, connecting with mom.
I thought you said we could pick whoever, whatever.
Yeah, but I looked at the clock and I just threw out a bunch of information before I started. That meditation was strictly guided for that you connection with your mom. The second one was about whichever person you want to pick out. So I take full responsibility for having you confused.
Okay, that's fine because we're still on the same page. But anyway, for me, I had very slight pain on my left arm, and then a little like sharp pain hit me right here in the ankle. Like
Your right ankle?
Huh?
Your right ankle?
My right ankle.
Some father stuff and some stuff from your mom you should carry on there.
Yeah.
Because it's written over your face too.
Yes. I know, like, you need to mind your business sometimes. I knew he was going to pick me.
So you might go and get it on now.
Yeah. But anyway, it wasn't as bad as it could have been. And then for me, I was able to, like, I know when I reached the level that I need to reach at, it's because I feel a full vibration and tingle where I feel like I'm floating almost. So that's what the experience was for me. But we can talk a little bit more.
Yeah, this is my sister.
All right. Anybody? Yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to say that when I was going through mine and envisioning the person, and I got to the point where they were smiling and we started embracing, then I started feeling weight over here. I said, okay, I'm carrying something from this relationship that I need to, and I thought, like, when you get to the point, so to me, when the embrace and holding on and being, I guess,
moving forward.
So.
Yeah, because now you're consciously aware that there was some fear around you moving forward, and you was carrying something that you shouldn't have been carrying as it relates to that individual. So as often as you go back and you do that exercise, you can keep giving that up. You just keep breathing it because it'll all dissipate. See, the body knows exactly what it's ready to get rid of. We may not know. We're not consciously aware of what the body's ready to release until we get into that space. Once we get into that space and get the monkey mind out of the way, then the body says, oh, we can let this go. Oh, we can let this go. That's why it took forever for me to get Bianca's monkey mind out of the way, because her body wasn't ready to let go of anything until later.
But remember, I wanted to share, when Johnathan was doing the lymphatic massage, bumps started coming up that Johnathan had to work out. Remember underneath my arm?
Yeah.
Pit.
I thought that was your deodorant. I thought you was wearing.
No, not this side.
Oh. I'm kidding.
Not the only bumps.
Yeah, so my body actually started when because they weren't there really before. They were kind of.
No, they were calcified.
Okay, is that? Yes.
See, Bobby. And so they were in there locked in. They've been locked in for a long time.
But I didn't know they were there. I mean,
and see, as we open those up, then you start to see your skin starting to clear around here, because all of this was just blocked, and the poison's coming out of here because it couldn't get through the lymphatic system.
Yeah.
Because she was mentally still didn't want to do what she needed to do as relate to her supervisor at work. But as she started to deal with that relationship in a different way, then things started to shift here.
Yeah.
Did you break and set them free, Bobby? Set them free?
Bobby needs to see her set herself free.
But let's just say I got a little mouthy.
That's all right.
I tell her how I felt.
Yeah.
Oh,
yes,
you know what? I'm getting ready to do that on Monday.
I just want to say, when she spoke about being mouthy, I know that you had said to me the first time, you don't love yourself. I'm thinking, what is he talking about? I do my hair, you know what I'm saying? And so I had to think about it, and I said, well, if God, I'm not trying to disrespect you, but I was like, if God can tell him, God can tell me too. And so then that's where he was leading me in the way of working with boundaries, because obviously I hadn't set boundaries with people, and that's what it is. And I, for lack of a better term, started getting mouthy as well, letting people know, no, it's not okay for you to do that. And even if I'm gonna get
and that is an expression of self-love.
But that is a part of me letting all this stuff go, and I find I'm holding on less to things, but I had to start getting mouthy too.
Yeah.
Well, you were setting a healthy boundary, and that's what when you love yourself. But I didn't know what that meant. I've heard it before. Yeah. You don't love it. I'm like, what does that mean? So I had to pray on that thing. Yeah. I said, if God can tell him, he can tell me too. And then that's where he started leading me and working on the boundaries and forgiving people and letting that stuff go. I mean, things would flash in my head that I didn't even think that I thought about, and I would just forgive that person, my best friend. I know I could tell her, I forgive you for this. My boyfriend, I know I could tell I wrote a big long list. You know what I'm saying? And I could let it go. But my dad and my mom may not be ready where they would take it more personal. So I'll wait for that. But I still released it and let it go.
I had to ask for help.
You had to ask for help?
I had to ask for help the second time. Behind the first one.
Yeah, those are two heavy work, pieces. We don't typically do those together when the person's in the office, but I wanted to make sure that I gave you guys some good tools to work with.
Yes. I have a quick question to ask you. I had a shoulder pain for a while.
Well, hold on, she's not finished.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
You were so quiet.
I know, that's why I
No, she's in the spirit.
I thought you
Oh, okay.
I was feeling the peace, why?
But it's okay.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
my spirit. Okay. Reality. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you had to ask for help and go.
I did, yeah, I did. I had to ask for help.
Okay.
The first one, because I'm living in the first one.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I didn't see pink, I saw gray.
It's okay. Both of those are heart colors for both of those colors are for the heart.
Okay.
Light green, green. Yeah, green.
Yeah.
So you look for you for connected. What happened, y'all?
So, yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a question, and this is not fake happened, but I'm not sure. I had a pain in my shoulder, and I had a pain in my shoulder for a while, maybe about a couple of weeks. So I was looking at something on YouTube, and this man was doing, Reiki, a form of Reiki. It was a different name, and so he was going through all the gyrations, like doing. He would take whatever off the person and then throw it to the lady who was holding up a water. He would throw the water onto her, but it wasn't any water. Anyway, he was going through all those gyrations. And so the person was getting better, supposedly. I thought, I don't know, it seems overdrawn at times, but it's like, let me try something. So what I did was I took the energy from my head, because everything else was fine on me, except my shoulder. And so it's like, I just took the energy in my mind from my head, because my head was fine, and took this healing, this energy that's fine, and put it on my shoulder. The pain just went away and did not come back. And I thought,
Oh my God.
wow, we have so much power ourselves.
Yeah.
And I just looked at YouTube and tripping about his gyrations and all that. It's like, let me take all that away. Because I don't have anybody to put water to. To me, it seemed like all he was doing is just taking the energy from this guy and just putting it on there.
All the other stuff, and so there's like, what's the reason for this pain being here? I don't know, but it would come back. So that's how I know there's something else that's causing the pain. Just don't know what that is. But yeah, moving the energy around to get to that particular.
See, pain manifests because of inflammation. Inflammation kicks in because you're inflamed about a situation. Depending on what part of the body is, you think about it, you can go and say, ooh, bingo. See, that left was some female stuff. So a female you've been carrying energetically. And I don't know if you got the voice to speak to it and let it and set it free, or you still want to carry it. But
that was about 6 or 7 months ago.
Okay.
So I'm saying it could come back.
Just same with cancer. The person that goes through the chemo, they go through all the chemo, the doctors say, oh, they're good. And then, but they don't tell you that, okay, yeah, you can survive for, what is it, 5 years? 5 years if they consider to be a success, but the 6, no, is it months? No, it's not years, it's months. After that 6 month kick in, then here it comes again. Here it comes again, because you never got to the root of it. All you did was stamped out the symptoms of it.
Okay.
And that is the...
I'll make an appointment with you.
I'm sorry to have
Don't
all
be
these
sorry.
comments or whatever.
No.
But I wanted to say that because of even the first time of me coming here, like this week, when I was doing something in the morning, I started feeling like, oh, everything I'm doing is working out right. And I thought, wait a minute, what is the root cause? So it's helped me be more conscious. Emotions and people eat them or whatever. It's helped me be more conscious of things and getting down to what the root cause is and dealing with that root cause when I have it pop up. And I've noticed that I'm able to do that a little quicker than I was able to do before, for sure.
I have a birthday. Did you have me?
Yeah.
It's really hard for me to share, but everybody else has, and I don't want to be the only one who's not, bringing the energy, helping to bring that energy too. But this was really, really beneficial to me. My first part was my mother, and I know that, that there were issues, and I also understand a lot more now, and I really want to get through that. And then the second part was my daughter.
You really what?
I really want to work through that and release whatever's going on, whatever's got my hip right here.
I mean, you
I'm
really
ready to
desire
move
to
forward.
move through that? You mean you really desire to move through that?
Mm-hmm.
Desire has a different energy than want.
Okay.
As long as you want for it, you'll never get it.
Oh, I'll still be wanting.
That's right.
Okay, thank you for that. Okay. And then the same thing goes with my daughter, and I was glad that you said that when you can clear the energy between a parent and a child, it'll also carry to your offspring. And so that's, it's like mother, daughter. I was thinking that, but thank you for that.
Yeah, that was powerful.
Any questions, comments, observations? Yes.
I just want to say thank you, and I didn't know that it's been an eclipse coming.
Yeah, March.
Man,
March
this is so
23rd.
exciting for me, because a lot of what you shared, it just lets me know that I am on the right path to healing and to my full power and potential, because some things were just naturally I've been doing, but then the right people have been placed in front of me at the right time, unexpected. I just put it out there that, this is what I need, and it's there. So she told me about this class last week. She actually just Facebooked me, just the flyer. I was like, okay, yeah, it looks good.
Last week you found out?
Yeah. So
You did better than me. I just found out yesterday.
Yeah, actually, she texted me like a few weeks ago asking if we could see if you could be her primary physician. But anyway, that was last week when we were coming here. But then some other things happened, as early as last night. But things have just been falling into place this week for me and just giving me confirmation. And, I made a phone call this morning based upon the conversation that happened last night. And to get here, and you're saying to do those same things that I've already started in the process of doing and letting go of some things. So
I got news for everybody in this room.
Yeah.
It's no accident, it's no coincidence. The Creator said everybody that's here today to get this information, because guess what? It is time for you to start activating this at the level of your consciousness right now, to take it to the next level on whatever road you're dealing with right now. And other people are going to see your light and power by you honoring who you are and operating in that power.
Yes, when the student is ready to master.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And if you, I have a few of those treatment bottles I made, so I have the formulas in it if you want. Just see Bianca back there.
We about to close up, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But somebody had.
Somebody.
Oh, no, I'm glad I came. I worked 17 hours yesterday, and I got 3 hours sleep and came on out here. And yeah, I like what you're doing and stuff you're teaching, because allopathic medicine can't touch it because it can't see it, feel it, taste it, touch it. And where you going? I mean, everything you're talking about, the energy, the chakra, the spiritual stuff. Because I'm a member of a 12-step group, and people are deemed that crazy up in there.
I thought you was a product of Motown.
They were crazy as well. That's a great school.
Hold on, there's 3 products of Motown in here. Just watch yourself.
Watch yourself.
Yeah. And so,
yes. I know somebody watched it.
I got a cousin in Detroit. He sent to me for my birthday.
Okay.
The information you're sharing is the new modality. It's got to be the new next paradigm, and it's going to put doctors out of business.
They probably did.
No. The painkiller people out of business.
Pharmaceutical.
I mean, I know you're a doctor too. So,
Look, as you wake up, it's like for each one light come on, you just brighten up the whole community. Then the whole street is lit up. That's what it's about. It's just your light coming on.
Like Tom said, that's what I was thinking. Tell me that so you had an imagination about making it light up, at night. So is that what you're trying to do?
You know what, mine really? Because mine was I was born and raised in the church, okay? And I got a chance as I got up older and to be the armor bearers for Miles Monroe, T.D. Jakes, and all these guys. And so, but I had a passion for God, not religion. So when I was 19 and went to seminary, and they taught me how to hermeneutically and hermeneutically exegete the scriptures and transliterate out of the Greek back to the Hebrew, I'm like, the light bulb came on, and I was like, okay, they've been giving me some stuff, but God, I wanted to know you. And then I began to realize that there's no power in believers. The power comes in the knowers. Comes with the knowers. And then you begin to develop a relationship, a personal relationship with the Creator from within. Has nothing to do with the religion. Then it's like, whoa. And then after I started learning this, it's like, well, what about the temple? You say, no, you're not, that you're the temple. So, okay, well, what about all this sickness? And this spirit was like, oh, you want to know about that? And then I started doing iridology, and then here it is 41 certifications later, put all the stuff together. The conversation with the Creator has been, allow me to be the single voice of ancient wisdom and quantum reality coming together to meet the minds and the hearts of the people like that. That's it. Because the power is in you. It's not in the guru.
Right.
It's not in the preacher. It's in you. And anybody that's not pointing you back inside,
That's right. That's right.
they're playing with you.
That's right.
That's right. They're playing. And I look back, when I look at the esoteric conversation that Jesus had with Peter, he said, Peter, lovest thou me? He said, well, feed my sheep. That's right. Don't fleece them, don't manipulate them, don't intimidate them, don't dominate them, just feed them. Because if you feed them, then they will be able to, and I'll flip the script over here, they will be that extension of the true vine. And what happens to the vine that continues to grow? It begins to bear fruit itself. That's how that vine moved out of our cherry tree all the way over to the plum tree. It grew through all of those trees right there. 10 for the 1 ounce, and then 20 for the 4 ounce. 2 ounces. That's a 1 ounce. Yeah, they are right there. I'm sorry. And with that, I want to thank you all for being open to receive.
I like what I said. Johnathan, put some mystifiers. Did it make you want to do clap? It's all good, Johnathan.
Too funny. Okay, great. Akebalon is speaking tomorrow. And what is he speaking about?
Music!
And the vibration of music, which kind of would tie in today.
Yes.
Okay, so please, I'll make sure I won't be able to be here tomorrow. But anyway, go ahead and talk a little bit about tomorrow, because it's going to be really good. Please come support that tomorrow.